Right, so episode 6 of the Sober Session podcast, everyone. And we're doing something a little bit different today. We've come remotely, haven't we, Steve? So, episode 6, we've got Ste Tullet, aka the Lyrical Viper. I can't wait for this conversation because obviously I've saw yours, sorry, mate. What do you call it, your Facebook and your socials and stuff, and you do a lot of obviously your music and things like that, but I saw in particular post the other day about like the stuff that you've done, and we'll get into that obviously further on in the podcast and stuff. So I'm really intrigued as to the work that you do with the music, what you've done. I've saw that you've been to Hugh College, but yeah, the way we start this is just simply as like tell everyone who you are, what you do, and yeah, go from there.
Right, so my name is Ste Tullet, aka I go by the name Lyrical Viper, and I am an anti-knife crime campaigner. I'm also an advocate for the youth, so in that sense I do a lot to try and help the youth, but not in a way many people do. I do it through music and they actually listen. I also highlight other problems in society, which it could be anything from homelessness to depression to suicide to child poverty to the people in power not really representing us the way they should, things like that, things that people don't speak about, because the way I see it, brother, is when you look at it in music side of things now and the message out there's so many people who were trying to make a change but we sort of stopped, and there's no one doing it no more to an extent, so that's why I started.
And yours, sorry mate, yeah, your genre's like rap as well, and like you notice like with rap, it's quite, I don't want to say negative, but it is a lot of sort of like gang violence language in it and wordplay.
It's all gang shoot 'em up, brother. And what these rappers don't realise is that they're putting in about postcode wars and things, and then saying they're not going to be controlled by a government, but at the same time, the government own the postcode they're fighting for.
Yeah.
When you...
It sort of contradicts, like, the message, doesn't it, in things? From what it is that they say. But yeah, so tell me then, mate. Yeah, let's, so how did you sort of come about getting into the music? Tell us a little bit about your journey. We've just been speaking before the podcast and things, and like, did anything in particular happen, or was it just like what was sort of like?
It did, yeah. To be honest with you, so quite about 5 years ago or something like that. Now it was sometime in the past. I put that to bed, but I'm happy talking about it now.
Of course.
I was told I was the father of a child. For 5 years, I was a father to this child. I raised him. I provided for him. I've done every single thing a father should do. And then after 5 years, I was hit with, when we were going through court for access, I was hit with, I don't think he's the dad anyway. So, that took me aback a little bit. And then a DNA test was put in place by the judge. So, I thought nothing of it. I was like, yeah. And then it come back a month later that he was no possible match. And that was it then. After 5 years, I haven't seen that little boy since. And, after that happened, bro, like, I had to break down, and I did, like my life proper went from spiraled. Everything I knew for the last 5 years was gone, and I ended up living on a mattress in an empty house with 6-7 bin bags to my name, and I was drinking. I'm not ashamed. This is the first time I've ever said this out loud. What we said about it's going to be an open and honest conversation. I was taking cocaine at the time. And that was a coping mechanism for me. And mate, I hit rock bottom. I jumped out of a tree with a rope around my neck, and the rope snapped. And just like my hairs are coming up when I say this. And
I've just got goosebumps then as well, mate. Yeah.
Like, and I spent 6 months after that. I remember being on my knees in the mud after that, and I remember thinking to myself, lad, you can't even do that properly. Do you know what I mean? And get it. And like from that moment, I went back home, and I didn't even tell anyone I was going to do this. I left a letter, and someone actually went to the house and found the letter when I was actually away. And when I got back home, there's a lot of people there, and I went to hospital. I was kept in for a little bit, and it took me 6 months to really. Actually, one day I woke up and decided, hang on a minute, why am I Like, I'm only getting one chance at this life, and why am I letting something that was out of my control ruin it? Do you know what I mean? And I was always good with poetry. I was always good with writing, and I moved into this shared house, and there was an Irish dude there, and he read something I wrote, and he went, "Oh, that's artist material." I was like, "You mean? Yeah, all right." I was like, I didn't write it
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? I was just like, and he went, "No, I'm serious, and then from there, it's just that's where the journey first began, with that breakdown and like that rock bottom, from rock bottom to where I am now. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole reason. That's basically my backdrop and my story, really.
Yeah, that's some journey, that, mate, and like you say, going from obviously spending so many years with this child, and obviously the woman and stuff, and you know, and then having to find that out years later, and not seeing that kid, and I couldn't imagine, as we were speaking before and before the call and stuff like that. Like, I haven't got kids myself,
Yeah,
got
yeah.
nieces and nephews and stuff, and you know, I couldn't think of anything, you know, fucking worse and gut wrenching. You've invested all this time and energy and effort, love and emotion, and it's just like, it's me saying that, I've literally like just got goozies all
It's
over
just
my
like,
back.
boom, there you go.
Yeah.
You can have a chance of that, taste of that, boom, it's gone. You know, but one thing I've learned from that video is, and I'll tell it to everyone who's watching this now, you know, no matter what you're going through in life, no matter how hard you think life is, there's always someone out there who's worse off. You know, because while I was going through all that, and while I was trying to get me head back together and stuff, I was meeting people along the way who, you know, one had lost a leg, you know, and my pain was temporary, and you know, like, I don't think about it these days. It's been nearly 8 years now. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I just used that now. Oh no, 5 years. I don't know, something. I don't know. 3 years. I've been doing this 3 years, and it's usual 5 years. You know,
Yeah.
and I don't think about it no more, bro. I've got me focus. As I say before, I'm a family man now myself. You know, and I live a good
Yeah.
life, and I used that experience to learn, and that's the most important thing I've learned in this life. That every single person we meet along the way, we can learn something from them.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I couldn't agree more, mate. And like you say, it's, I suppose, like, if that situation didn't happen, would you be in this situation
I
now?
would
Do you know what I
never,
mean? Making music,
no,
campaigning,
I would
all
never,
that. Do you know what I mean?
I can honestly say no, I wouldn't. That's genuine.
Yeah.
I honestly know, hand on heart, if none of that happened, I would not be here now. And I look back and think, you know, okay, that was a lesson, but it set me up for a greater path, you know.
Absolutely.
And that's the way I look at it now, because this is a greater path for me, and I'm thriving on this greater path. So, yeah.
So how come then, going back to that, obviously just a little bit, you'll find with me as well, mate, that I'll just flitter from bits to bits,
That's what
just
I do,
to,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah.
I'm good.
I don't know if it's how my brain works or whatever, but I just want to sort of like dig in a little bit deeper into, like, why knife crime? Was it something that, and again, if you don't mind me prying or anything, like, was it something that you were involved in, or like?
Nothing personal to me, brother. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
one name, and that's Ava White. Ava White died in our city.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
to any parent out there, to any person out there, if you can't sit there and think, you know what, the death of that young girl doesn't make you see things differently, and if you can't understand that there is a problem with knife crime, and it's the youth, it's not me or you, bro, who's stabbing each other in the streets, it's the 16-year-olds, the 17-year-olds, and the kids, you know. So that's the only reason that I've lost no relative to knife crime. I've not been affected by knife crime in any way whatsoever. It's just
Yeah.
a little girl lost her life, and I don't know what happened. Something inside me just went, no, I've got a gift, and I managed to combine it. But I started spoken poetry first. I was doing it that way, but you know, that's my sole focus for fighting knife crime. Is literally Ava White died in our city, and for every parent out there whose kids are growing up in our city, I want to try my best to stop that happening again.
Yeah. And what a different, like, sort of backstory what you've got, because you tend to find that, like, people will only campaign, and this is obviously no disrespect to anybody else or anything, like,
I know where you're going.
I don't know
with
if things, I don't know if things are only campaigned for or advocated for when something happens, whether that's this, whether it's gun crime, whether it's against suicide or anything, and like again, it's nothing against anybody. I think it's just, and this is why I do what I do with the foundation and the lads do. Like I don't know, I know one or two I've said something about like their stories, and I won't go into too much detail, but like, and like I've had like my moments, but I've never sort of done an attempt like what you have as well. Do you know what I mean?
That's
Like it's
why
never.
people. So I get it, bro, because a lot of people who said to me, a lot of comments have said to me, like, um, how can you fight so much about knife crime and you've lost no one to knife crime? I'm like, yo, it's not
Doesn't mean,
it's not
yeah.
a competition on how many lives we save, or you know, as a city, our city as a whole, and the people of our city want to say all the time, you will never walk alone. So
Yeah,
why
yeah,
is
yeah.
it that sometimes in this fight against knife crime I'm walking alone, but I still keep walking? Why is it that there's a lot of people out there who are walking alone because they're scared to speak up because there's people judging them because they haven't lost someone to knife crime? It is not a
Yeah.
competition again, and I get it a lot, mate, and I do, but it's just something. If I can't sit here and say, I'm devastated by the death of a 12-year-old girl in the our city streets, what can I say, bro?
Yeah, to me that shows like the level of character you are, the level of empathy you've got, like, and it just like it's just again every time I say something about you or something about that, I'm getting goozies for whatever reason, mate. Obviously, I'm connecting with you in a boss
I
way, and
like the
like,
chat, mate. It's a
because
good conversation.
yeah,
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 man.
and I feel like just I think where you're at, because again, like I say, like for me and my mental health, it never went as far as what yours did or anybody else's did, where they have taken their own life or it's been an attempt and it hasn't worked, but they've changed it around.
Yeah.
Mine's just like I was just sick of the way I was feeling.
Yeah.
Like I was sick of how I was feeling. I knew I had more potential, so it was just a case of right. I need to cut out certain things, and one of them or two of them was the alcohol,
Yeah.
and obviously, the sort of the drugs and things, or like medicinally kind of thing,
Yeah.
and from that, I was just like, right, okay. But yeah, I love how you campaigning against something where it hasn't personally affected you,
Yeah.
but it has in some way as well, because it's, you wouldn't want that to happen to anyone that you know personally.
No.
So it's like, well, let's fight against this thing because
Yeah.
it's rife in London, isn't it, and stuff like
Bro.
that.
There's behind me. There's a window. Out that window, there's about 10 children playing in the streets. It could have
Yeah,
happened to any one of them. I'm in this house for the community. And this is what people
yeah,
don't, people fail to understand these days. And there's not many old school morals left in the world. And one of them used to
no,
be, I'm 36 now. One of them used to be when I was growing up. Everyone knew everyone in that neighborhood, or the following two streets or something. Everyone knew everyone. You see it all the time on social media. But now, no one knows anyone. So no one knows what to fight for because no one talks. They only listen to what's on social
no,
media.
yeah,
So that's the reason I do it, because like at the end of the day, it's like, just because I'm not affected by it again, I've said it, but there's so many other aspects people need to think of before judging others.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. And it's again like really a massive part of where we're going with the foundation as well as yourself, and like it's about building that sense of community again because it's gone.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
is it? Like I can't remember the last time there was a proper like charity day or event, and I'm not saying ours is the only one from the 15th of August, but I can't think back to when anything like that's happened where you've got a footy match, you've got things for the kids, and then in the evening time there's just a big event where it's
Yeah,
like a singer raffle or like old school in a
yeah.
social club as well, Steve. Do you know what I
There's a
mean?
lot of
Like,
people out there who say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, but no one ever does.
no,
You've got me respect for people like yourself who actually,
thank you. Yeah,
I'm gonna do this, and you're doing it. I can see it. I've followed your journey. I admire what you do.
yeah,
And I'm aware of a couple of groups in Liverpool, like mental health groups and stuff. You know them yourself. You've had
yeah,
a couple of them. Brian's to do with one of them. A previous guest on your show. And there is
yeah,
groups out there, but there's not many. And if you notice, the groups out there sort of know each other anyway. So it's
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
it's not like it's a big community thing now. We need to make it where, and this is where I see your organisation going. Like, across the whole city where everyone feels a part of something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I
And
want.
that's the aim where I want to take it as well, mate. So
Yeah.
it's almost like, and again, I don't want to be like a pure Mahatma Gandhi of like the mental health groups or anything, but it's
Yeah.
like we're all fighting for the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not like you said before. It's not a
This is what I
competition.
mean, and
Let's come
yeah,
together and give them those options there.
there's too many people in this life who think, this world's a competition, and when you really think about this world and what we're here for, we weren't here. Time and what we're here for is man-made. We go to work 9 to 5. That's because man has told us to. That's man-made. Time, the clock, that's man-made. But there's so much more to this life than what we think now. And until we start coming together as a community, as people, we're never going to see the benefits.
No. So right, mate, and it's proper. Like, honestly, 100%. That's the way I see things. I see everything, not everything, but I see certain things as a concept.
Yeah.
Money's a concept. Your job,
Yeah.
things like that. But it's something that has to be done in order
Yeah,
to,
it has to be done
put
to
food on the
survive,
table,
but
go out.
sooner
Yeah.
or later someone's going to come along and change the game, and that's what the whole Lyrical Viper thing was, and that's the aim I'm taking
Yeah.
at now. Like, there's so many things I can see changing, and there's so many people who used to say 3 years ago I was mad for thinking it, and
Yeah.
now fast forward 3 years later, I'm here sitting in front of you doing this, and
It's mad.
it's mad, isn't it? It's just the world.
Plugging away at it, State.
Yeah.
That's it, lad. And I want to jump onto that journey now as well, and like, tell me more about it, because I saw that you won an award last year.
Yeah, man.
I saw that.
Bro,
Obviously, you've done things for the community.
yeah,
And,
that was Talent of the City 2025, the the Liverpool Lifestyle Magazine Awards. Well, I've actually been nominated in 3 years for 8 awards, and one was 2 were in the National Entertainment Awards in London. One was in the Southwest Regional Entertainment Awards. I've never been to Southwest before in my life, but somehow I ended up
wow.
trying to go for an award there. One was the Welsh Entertainment Awards, South Wales that was. Then there was 2 a music event that was meant to be getting done by the same organisers of Liverpool Lifestyle Magazine, and that was 2 different awards on that one, and then there was another somewhere. But in truth, all honesty, I don't. You see a lot with music about all the glamorise what they're doing to be able to get the money to do things. Now I do a day job, bro, and I don't take nothing off the government. I don't claim, I never have. And any money I get, I earn, I work for. I haven't got just about get studio time, so I didn't have the money at that time. I'm okay these days, but I didn't have the money at the time when these award nominations were coming in. I never turned up to any, apart from 2.
Yeah.
The first award I was never going to win. I was the only Scouser going up against South Wales people. I was just some random Scouser in the middle of South Wales who turned up, and it was like. But
Yeah.
I've done a talent show in South Wales. Like, it's sort of like the South Wales people, because they're all like a close-knit community. I've done a talent show up there, and I've come in the last 9. It's like sort of like, and it's like this big talent show. They're all doing all like Newport, Swans, all different areas, and I managed to get into the last 9 somehow, and that's the start of the journey. So that's where all the awards have come from.
So how come you didn't kind of then turn up to like the other ones?
I
Was it
couldn't.
just
Oh yeah,
because you didn't want to, or just
I couldn't afford
like?
to, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I couldn't afford to.
Oh, okay.
At that moment, I couldn't afford to, and they were like,
Yeah.
they were just like the travelling. I'm talking like, I'm having to pay 140 quid just to get there on the train, and then I'm having to pay another £200 at that time for the hotel that night, and then I'm having to like some money while I was there and that, and you're talking like 500 quid just to turn up, and
Yeah.
to me, I haven't got that. And I hate to sound thingy, but awards, they're just awards, bro. I'd rather.
I was just gonna get onto that way as well. Yeah.
I'd rather make a difference than have a trophy. None of the award I've won isn't even in my house. It's in my mum's. I don't. It's nothing. It's nice to have them, but I'd rather save 10 lives than have 10 awards.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true, and again, it goes back to what we were talking about then, about like everything's materialistic, a concept, and like It'd be the same for me. Obviously, certain things like that to be recognised as boss. Don't get me wrong, but I think like in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really fucking matter, does it?
No,
Like when you think about it, mate.
I believe in, as we were talking before about time and the whole concept of time, and you know, so many people, bro, live their life for nice things, and I see it all the time. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I want the nice watch. I want the car. I want this. You see in the music videos. You see it all over. But at the end of the day, we can't take none of these nice things with us. You know, people are dying for nice things. For what? You've lost your life now. You're not going to have the benefit of that. You know, so all these materialistic things mean absolutely nothing. You know, what we're here for is to leave a legacy. Now you've got yours with your Sober Session podcast and the Wick Foundation and everything. That's your built foundation for your legacy. You know, I've got the Lyrical Viper anti-knife crime fight, and basically, bro, is like I'm fighting challenging anyone I see who is bad for the community and bad for society, from high level government officials to lower level drug dealers on the street. I don't care. You know, if you're letting shots off in our communities, then we need to do something about it, because too many innocent children have been dying. You know, so that's the whole way. Like I'm taking that. Like I could just talk for days about it all, to be honest.
No, keep going, mate. No, that's perfect. And like, because I noticed a period where Liverpool was going through like a really sort of like mad sporadic time of like
I think in one,
gun violence, knife crime, and it just went bam bam bam.
Yeah, it was what I think in one inch, like it was mad, bro, because when that happened, I remember that happened, and I remember being, I was in the studio. A 15-year-old girl was shot at a bus stop in Toxteth on the same day as another one was shot in one area and another one was shot in the other. I remember that day completely, what you're on about, and one of the spikes in it. And 2 weeks prior to that, I'd been in the studio and I released a song, and I can't remember what I've recorded 205 tracks, so I can't remember what bar in what song it was. But I turned around and said, you know, when are you gonna listen when a 15-year-old girl gets hit in a bus stop? And I put it in the song 2 weeks before that happened. You know, 2 weeks later it happens, and you know, if you listen to what I speak in my songs and the things I actually say, and you look on the streets, that's real talk of the streets, instead of you know, like I'm living this lifestyle that no one is, you know.
Yeah. It's almost like you can, because you're in the thick of it, you're in the community and stuff like that. It's almost like you can foresee a trend or see it happening, hence why you've said it in your song, and then hence 2 weeks later, again, I'm getting goozies all over my body, you may bloody hell. But, and I can relate to some extent, not in regards to like what you're doing, I mean just like musically.
Yeah, thank you.
Because for myself, like I used to sing years ago. I haven't stepped into a studio for a long time now, but like it puts you like obviously music's amazing for many things, and it's powerful, it's good for yourself, it's good for stuff like this, and like it's mad, innit, like how you spoke those words and where it come from and what the music can do. But it's again like it's the change that needs to come. And like tell us a bit more about the advocation or the advocating that you're doing up in like.
So what I do for the youth, so basically the whole thing I do for the youth now, I went to Newberg College, I was invited there by Newberg College. I done an anti-knife crime talk there. I've been to Bournemouth to stand there. I've performed in Bournemouth in front of the youth. Wales, I've done it there. You know, and all these youngsters on the street these days need to realise is, you know, and a lot of them don't see it, a lot of them just see, and I see him as, I'm not even going to say his name, bro, on your podcast, just so I can't be accused of thinking, but a local rapper saying the other day on a thing, and he turned around and said, you know, us as rappers, we're not living that lifestyle, and they're saying that, and it's like he was actually admitting himself, you know, we're lying about it, you know, you stop living it, and it's just promoting the whole thing. And I was going on a bit there, I forgot what the question was.
What did I say? Oh yeah, that was it. It was, tell us a bit more about like your advocating and stuff like that. So like, have you worked with the police?
Oh
any
no,
local
none
politicians?
of that. You know,
like,
no one seems to want to work with me, bro. I won't work with politicians either. because
Yeah.
and it's not like no one wants to work with me. It's like I've always done this by myself. You know, I've got I don't know if you're the same, but I believe the bigger your circle is, the more problems it brings. You know, and I've got a very close circle, and I do it by myself. I write everything by myself, and everything I've done, I've managed to do myself. And my aim is, like, you tell me a rapper out there who's saying put your knives down, there's none of them. And you know, I've got kids listening, to this music, and I've had kids like message me on Insta or something, or see me in the streets. Oh, lad, your boss here. I love the message. Keep it up. And when that, I mean,
Amazing.
I've just spent 2 years in a fighting gym. I was living there, and a lot of the kids who train there were onto my music, and they respected me for it. You know, because they were the good ones.
Yeah.
And I've proven that the message can reach the kids, and it can go that way. You know, because like there's a lot who listen. So, but like, I mean, I want to do more of like the colleges and things, and you know, it was hard. I got into Hugh Bird, which I managed to do 2 sessions there in Hugh Bird. So now it's about finding, because I do all this myself and I work as well, and I've got no team behind me, but it's just a one-man army. So I've got to find it. I've been on for 2 hours with my tea, and I'm on the phone to you now. So it's I've got to find a time to fit in, to search where, like, get the colleges, find the right emails, send all the things out where there's other people who've got like management team and things like that. And you know, I was offered that once and I refused it, so I'd just rather keep like on my own name for a little bit and try and get in different places where I can.
Yeah, I was gonna say, mate, it might be worthwhile even just bringing like a close friend on board. I know you want to keep like your circle close and stuff, just to assist you with almost like, would you say PR or something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm gonna, to be honest,
like a PR manager kind of.
Once it all starts picking up again, because obviously I've had a lot of things going on this year and that. So Hugh Bird was the last one. It'll be Mrs. who does all that side of things now. She's never really stepped on board, so that's one thing. I'll be going along that way to see if she'll like jump on board, and you know, that's what you do, isn't it? You know, you help each other, you thrive and things like that. So perfect. You give me the little nudge there to. Because she's sitting over there. So I'm just going, hey,
that's it now, you've said it.
You know. And she's looking at me going,
I will. No, but that's it, mate. And like, we all need that little bit of sort of help sometimes, don't we? And like, I'm a bit similar to yourself, where like, if I want to get something done, or if I need something doing, I'll just go, fuck it, I'll do it myself. But sometimes like, that, and then that's where I kind of burn out too quickly, or this or that. But the lads, that, you know, if I ask the lads on, like, say, doing something, or they'll ask me or whatever, like, that's why we're there for. So there's only a couple of us. There was like 6 of us at the start. 2 have just had to drop out just due to like personal reasons. But I've said, come back in and there'll be a different sort of thing for you to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, there'll always be something to do.
There'll always be family.
But that's where I kind of want to, that's where I kind of want to leave it, like 6, including myself, so 7 of us all together, but there's 4 of us at the minute, and it's good. It's where we're at. I think we're just like obviously wanting to push as much as we can for the event in the day, and do whatever we need to do. But
you know, one thing, is this your first event organising and things like that? And
yeah, it's our first like fundraising
how about
day
yourself though?
Event.
Is this the first one you've ever tried to organised?
No, me second one. So I done one like years ago, with me mates with Cancer Research and Macmillan, and it was a success. And that was the back of obviously his granddad and my granddad dying both roughly around about the same time, and it was good. Obviously things could have changed, but bloody hell, I was only about like 20 at the time, something like that.
Bro, like I done one for Brian Phillips, and for the homeless and that, and my DJ at the time, it was a friend, so she'd done a couple of things for me on beats and things like that. So I explained to her, I said, look, this, if you want a DJ, it'll be good for promotion wise for you, but I can't pay you, you know, there's no budget for this one. This is strictly everything we're making is going to Brian. So then, on the day of the fundraiser, she messaged me 2 hours before and said, oh, sorry, someone's offered me 200 quid to go and do your slot, basically. And I was like, exactly this way you just looked at me there, bro. That's the way I was looking at the message, and I was like, oh,
Wow.
what am I gonna do here? Because without that DJ, that was everything gone. So then it ended up costing me. I had to give it a £200 that that I said like yeah that, and it was just I haven't done one since. So for you to even do your second one, much respect to you. Like it just
Yeah.
sent me head west when someone done that on the day, bro. And this was someone
Yeah.
who I trusted, bro, and was in my circle. And
Yeah.
the way you just said there before, I asked, we asked the lads, and these were then people who I had to ask, and then
Yeah.
2 hours before doing a charity homeless event, you say, "Oh, someone's offered 200 quid." No, and I'm screwed then without you. Do you know what I mean? I can't. This event
Yeah.
can't go
Yeah.
on. And everyone's bought tickets, and I bought, give them to Brian, all the money to Brian. So I'm going to reimburse everyone myself. And I was just
Yeah.
like, never ever again. So
Wow.
fair
Well,
play to you.
yeah, that first, thanks, mate. That first one, it was only me and like one of the lads that I've known from years ago and stuff. But this is like a completely different kettle of fish. I feel, and like obviously with the organisation and stuff. So, but yeah, it's getting there, mate. Going there. It's hopefully it's gonna be like a success, and we'll do some good things. And it's just like you're saying, like it's just to keep. Just a thing about believing, keep it moving, keep it
Yeah.
posting. Social media presence is key
You know what, mate?
for
There's
it.
there's been
And yeah,
times I've been sat there, bro, and I've been like, do I keep going here? There's like
oh yeah,
when I've
I
seen
know
some
that.
like, I mean, I've just done a song there like FUCK the viral memes or whatever, and I'm well aware there's someone who's made a couple of viral memes about me and all that. It took one tiny little bit of a clip that when I post these videos of me rapping to the beat, many people don't realise. In this year I've meant to wear 2 hearing aids, one on this one and one on this one. So I can't hardly hear the beat when I've got like when I'm rapping over the beats on a video like that. I've got to have the beats higher and then you can't hear it. So I'm going off just by
Yeah, yeah.
like just not out like So I struggle in that way as well. But I'm still going. I still keep forward. I'm still pushing forward. Never
Well,
letting.
that's boss that, mate. Like
Yeah.
the fact that like you say, you've got two earnings in, and you're
No,
going
I meant
to.
to
I
wear
don't.
them, bro. I won't wear them.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
I
right,
won't wear
okay.
them. I lost one, and I'm not paying it. I don't want it. Everything's too loud for me. I'm happy the way I am. So for now, but
Yeah,
I'm meant to be having an operation on this year. I've got a hole in my eardrum. I refused that operation because that'll set me back 6 months. And
yeah,
the way I see it, and it sounds mad. And a lot of people may be looking at this thinking, "Wow, who is this lad? Why does he live his life like this? He's mad." But I believe in a promise tomorrow. So I believe that
yeah,
if I was to be put back by 6 months, that's 6 months out of my journey, and that's 6 months
yeah.
of trying to change society where it could have happened and I haven't, and then I've missed that time slot. Do you know what I mean? And
Mm,
that's the way I see the world. I'm
yeah.
sure.
No, no, I totally get that, mate. And it'd always be about that, like, what if
Yeah,
if I was just doing this, if I landed this bar, this
yeah,
lyric, done went to this college, university, done whatever it is, then yeah, like yeah, I totally get
yeah,
that.
man.
It's similar to myself in the sense of if I don't post this reel, if I don't share this, I might not get the tickets that I was supposed to. Like, and I think obviously my aspect of things, it might be whether it's like it's not from an ego stance or anything. I think it's like, what if this reel or this post could affect someone this? Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just trying to keep it
That's
there
what I
all the
mean,
time.
and
And
that's when
yeah,
you're thinking like that, and a lot of people won't see that because a lot of people won't think like that. A lot of people will think, "Oh,
yeah,
I'm having a break now. I'm going to bed. I'll do that tomorrow."
I
You know,
can't do that. Yeah,
I can't because I'm not getting. And just recently, I've lost a friend. And he went to bed one night, and
sorry,
yeah,
mate.
it's cool.
Yeah,
It was last week. I'm not going to go into it, but he went to bed
yeah,
one night, and then next day he wasn't here. And that's how quickly it can go. This world and this life.
yeah.
And if you leave something unfinished, who's going to finish it if you're not here tomorrow?
Mm. Right. We just had a bit of connection issue there. What happened? Oh bloody hell, that was funny. Like I said there, mate, I can't remember where we sort of finished there,
Yeah,
but I think Yeah, I want to know a little, like, what did you do then with, like, Hugh Bird? Tell us a little bit more about that, because I saw some pictures and videos and things of you, like, rapping and stuff.
Yeah, well, I'd done a Message to My Unborn Daughter, which was just a song I wrote. I'd done that one, and then I'd done a full-on 25-page presentation. So
Wow.
I didn't want to, and I sat there and like I got a bit of stick for people saying to me, I only have 5 days to do that. By the way, prepare, write the 25-page presentation, learn the song that I'd just literally done in the studio the week before, and I was just like, no, when you just basically just take too much, and I was just like, and I just said, yeah, I'll do it because it's always something I wanted to do, and then so every night after work I was coming home writing a bit of it, and then I'd have to video myself like this, say it out, and then I'd have to get it to like 45-minute long speech or something, and I'd done it that. But I varied what I'd done with them was I'm not going to sugarcoat it with the youth, and I'm not going to sit there and say to them, look, if you keep doing this, you'll be okay, you know.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot where the youth won't listen to the elder generation, and they don't. So I'm saying it in a way where, look, bro, look, kid, I'm not going to say you will be okay. If you carry on living this life, you will die. You know, there's no question about it. If you want to carry on walking around with that knife, there's a good chance someone will use it against you and you will lose your life. And once it's gone, it's gone. You know, and I was saying stuff like that to them, and like they were listening, and you know, and I felt like a proper teacher for a minute. I was, some of them were like talking, and I went, hey, be quiet a second. It was just like, ooh, and I was just like, wow, it's mad this. You know, coming from where I've come from to where I was, and like standing there in front of them, and I was looking at them, and I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous, bro. Like I was fine until everyone walked in, you know, and then well, I was like rehearsing the song, and then next minute I heard whoo at the door, and I went, oh, and I stopped. I was like, and then my missus went, but they're gonna all come in. I was just carry on. I was going, nah, I'll wait. You know what I mean? And they're all coming through the doors, and I'm like, oh, it's like. Yeah, as soon as it started though, it was like, yeah, all the nerves are gone. It was just like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be. This is my place. So I want to do more of that.
That's amazing, that, mate. And like in that 25, that was it. You said 25 pages that you'd have to write in 5
presentation.
days.
I've still got it.
What was like the message with it? Was it like statistics?
Was it like no? It was I didn't want to hit them with the statistics side of things. I just hit them with straight up real talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just stuff like, you know, I hit them with like what it does to victims, the impact it has on not just one person, the impact it can have on your life. You know, just everything from like the realness of it, instead of saying, you know, sometimes when you say statistics, they think numbers, and then you can't be bothered listening. You know? So it's like saying to them, yeah, let's do this maths lesson. They're not going to want to be interested in. So you try and speak to them in a way where you're not the mate, but you are there to do what you're there to do, which is be the elder generation, setting the example to be a role model. You know, instead of hitting them with. Because don't forget, these kids, I don't know about you as a kid, but I know I wouldn't have listened to anyone in school or colleges. No. And so you've got to take that approach where, you know what, some of these are going to be thinking like we were back in the day, you know. So then you've got to try and come at them as not as a teacher type of an approach, but as the approach where, look lad, enough's enough now, you know. And I hope that you reach at least one of them, and you know, I like clapped and they all stood up at the end and everything, and so I like to think I made a difference on that day, you know.
Yeah, it's getting, like my missus is teaching in it, and she always says it's like getting to that level or getting on a level with them and stuff. And
that's what I mean like by the whole concept is you just hit the nail on the head there, bro. That's getting on their level and making them feel like, actually, he's not having a go with us here, he's standing with us here, let's listen to him. And then the more they do it, they're going to sit, and then it's just going to go and go, and then sooner or later you can maybe just try, maybe it will work, you know. But all these people saying it's not going to work are the ones who would never ever try it, bro. So I'm not going to listen. Literally, it's me doing it, not them. And
and that's it, mate. It's like, like we were saying earlier on, do you ever have that sort of fleeting doubt in your mind? Like, because I know I do with certain things, with what I'm doing. But there's always something telling me This little
Yeah,
sort of like
all the
rational
time,
side of
bro.
my brain
Oh,
going,
it's
no, just
there.
fucking keep
It's
going.
right
Yeah.
in the same place there. It's there, and 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 it's there. But you will find it everywhere. But then what you've got to realize is that you're in control of your own mind. So you just sooner or later you learn to block it out. And there is days I get it. I'm like, oh, can I? You know, I've been out there saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to achieve this, and I'm thinking, could I? Do you know what I mean? But you just got to surpass the doubts and realize that once you put legacy and time and everything we spoke about earlier all into concept, and then you say, can I? No one's ever said it like this, and I'm going to put it as bluntly as possible. You know, out of all them things to reach the egg, you were the one. And a lot of people see that as like, but I think it's like 900 million and one chance the sperm reaches the egg. We were that one.
Yeah.
We were that. Every single person on this planet was that one. Now there's a reason for that, and it's a concept of science, but it's like mind science and like how people think. Like, you know, people say, "Oh, I'm not meant to be here. I'm not meant to be here," but you are. And if you weren't meant to be here, it would have been another fucking sperm that hit. You know, you are meant to be. You are exactly where you are meant to be. You just got to figure out why.
Yeah.
So soon
Well,
as
this is it.
that, it's you know, sorry, go on. I just interrupted you there.
No, go on, mate. Sorry. Go on.
As soon as you start adapting that sort of concept, where you know, I get it, I get where you're coming from, but I always manage. I think that, and then straight away in my mind, I think, nah, bro, you're not doing that. You're not going back there. You know, you're here now. You know, and sometimes I have to ask my missus, hey, I'm good enough. I'm going to do this, and she's like, yeah, if you really want it, yeah, you know. And I look for, what's the word? Approval. You know, but then sooner or later, and a wise man once said, it was Ashley Park, you know, we don't look for approval. No one should ever look for approval on this planet because everyone's here for their own personal journey.
Yeah. And mate, I do literally the same in terms of looking for approval. I go to my missus, is the social media good enough? Does it look like it's just for show? Am I doing enough? This. And she goes, will you just fucking stop? And I go, I can't.
That's what I get.
Yeah.
Bro, and it's like,
I'd say like, I can't because it's how I'm wired, and I feel like we're both similar in that aspect. It's how I'm wired. I've got obviously like OCD and things, and I've probably got a touch of like ADHD maybe. I don't know. Because I've never been diagnosed, but
I've got family members
how.
who've got fully ADHD, Asperger's, you know, and I've never been diagnosed. I'm just deemed a naughty kid. You know, I was growing up, I was just deemed a naughty kid. I've never had a fully diagnosis, but you know, I do believe there is something like that in me because you know, you only have to see like a lot of people like this. Is what I was on about on one of my Facebook posts about this podcast. A lot of people may see me as like a crazy, arrogant little idiot or something from some of the stuff I say. You know, like I've been out there proclaiming, "Oh, I'm going to be greatest ever" and all this, but no, say if you are kids, yeah. And your son said to you, Dad, I want to start boxing. I'm going to be the greatest. Are you then going to say to your kid, no, you're not? Or are you going to say, go on, lad, believe in yourself? You're going to say, go on, lad, believe in yourself. And it's just because I come from not a screen estate. I'm from not a screen, a council estate, you know. Just because I come from there doesn't mean I can't achieve what I'm set out to do, you know.
Yeah.
Anyone can achieve anything they want to as long as you put the mind to it. You know that yourself.
And I'm a lad from Kenny.
Yeah.
Like I was when I was a kid, like I'm talking like 2 years of age. He was brought up in Wavertree, but then we dotted about a bit around the city, but predominantly Kensington. Like that's where like I spent like we sort of 10. Did you? Literally went to the same school.
Did you?
Broad Green High School.
Yeah, so did I. What old are you now?
33.
I'm 36. So I saying that though, I left when I was in year 8, so you wouldn't. I don't think you would have been in school by the time.
I wouldn't have.
You would have been in primary school, so you would have been just. I got kicked out in year 8, bro. I've got no education. No other school had had me. I was just that naughty kid, as I said, you know. But
you
know, probably these days I get so much more, but back then I was, and you know. It's funny how life turns out, though, innit? You know, back in school, I was always told, you don't go to school, you don't go this, don't do this, you won't have this, you won't have this. I've got a full-time job, I've got a fully qualified trade, you know, I'm doing the rap music, I'm and everything else to go with it. So it's all about mindset, bro.
That's boss, that mate.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
it is, and like it's took for me, like since going sober, cutting it all out, to get that self-belief back. Like it's probably took me, I'd probably say like a good 6 to 7 months to even be like there mentally,
Yeah.
and I still have my moments as we all do, but the more I rewire and retrain my brain, that'll go. But going back to what you were saying before about whether it's the dad having a chat with the son or the mum with the
Yeah.
daughter or whatever, it's about that one person believing
Yeah.
in you, isn't it? And like
It's not
that
even
one
about
that
that. As
one
long as you
conversation can change your
yeah.
life.
It is about that, bro. But if you're looking, if you ever doubt yourself, and you ever look at that self doubt, and you look in yourself and you say, "I'm doubt myself and doubt yourself," and if you want to find the nearest to your being, look in the mirror and say yourself. You
Yeah,
know, I wake up every morning and look in the mirror and I tell myself I'm going to do it. Every night before bed, I pray to my Creator because I don't follow religion. You know, I put out a lot of religious songs and stuff, but I don't really know what to believe in that aspect, really. You know, so I'm just writing what I mean, the songs are right. They take me 10 minutes to write, and
yeah,
like I don't even know what I'm writing half the time until it's written, and I'm like, okay, well, it's just like, you know, just done and it's done.
yeah.
So I write a lot of songs, but I tell myself every single day that I'm good enough, and I look in the mirror and I look right into my eyes and I tell myself, because if I can't do that, then if I can't give me this enough respect and enough belief to look in my own eyes and say it, then I've got no right to look in anyone else's and say
That's amazing. That's a real right there as well. What
it.
you've just said. Yeah, sick. No, that's boss that, and like it is, and you can, and I can relate to that massively because for years I spent always wanting to do something myself. I wanna be an achiever of this. I wanna do that, and just never done it.
Yeah,
Confidence, whether it was lack of motivation, discipline. I don't know if it was that because like I've always been a self-motivated person anyway, or like I can be disciplined. I'm probably like the most lazy, disciplined person going, especially when it comes to the gym, if that makes
yeah. It's
sense.
not
Like,
that. It's a lot of people think it's about discipline and stuff, and it is. But one thing you got to realize is maybe at that time you didn't want it as much as you thought. You
yeah,
know, because if you
yeah,
really, 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 really want something, you will. There'll be no excuses. You go for it. You know, no matter how many doubts, no matter, you know. So maybe that wasn't your path and that wasn't your time for the calling. But and it's about all them. Like, there's many times in the past I've thought maybe I want to do this, maybe I want to do that, and I don't, and then that happened with me, and then I'm here now, and you know, when you put everything together, it leads you onto one path. So a lot of people look at things and think, oh, maybe I should have done that, or maybe I should have done that, instead of thinking, I'm going, why didn't I do that, and why didn't I do that? What can I learn from that now while I'm doing this? And then I guarantee, but there's something back then, you'll be able to better your organisation now, because it's something you were thinking back then, but you just didn't see it yet, if that makes sense. I've
yeah, yeah,
always wrote these songs, I've just never done nothing with them. You know, and
yeah.
it's
And
something I wrote back then, and I'm doing something with it now. That's, you know,
yeah. And I think as I'm a big believer in, and again, this might be something to do with what you were just saying there about a couple of years ago, where I'd go to do something and wouldn't, but I believe that we've all got something in us,
yeah.
some form or some level of creativity, and it could be anything.
Everyone's got something, and it's just, you know,
It's just
it's
piecing
triggered.
it together, and yeah,
It's not even that. You know, like mine was triggered by what I went through. You know, and
yeah,
it's once. I mean, rock bottom builds champions, and it's you've seen the many people do it. You know, and once you hit that rock bottom stage, and once you get to the lowest, you will know you would do anything you can in your power to never ever go back there. You know,
yeah,
so once you hit that level and you're like, I feel like this, that stride, that like, then gives you the motivation to pursue that better life for yourself, because you know you want it then, and that's where it all kicks in. And then once you're ready, it's all about timing, and you know, if it's really your path, you will make it to see it out. If that makes sense.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it does absolutely, mate. And I'm excited for where the foundation's going, like, and stuff, and I'm pretty sure you're the same with your music journey as well, mate. And
Yeah, I don't.
what I,
To be honest, bro, like I just say it's mad just to say that. I'm just going with it, bro. You know, and
yeah, yeah,
like I'm not looking like I don't want to be famous. Me, I don't want fortune. I want to generate the fortune so I can help more people. You know,
yeah,
and the one thing you said before about 2024, one of my posts you seen the other day on Facebook, I had 50 school children. I'd done a raise money on Facebook, things like that, and it was me and a record label I was starting up with a lad from South Wales, and we bought 50 school children school uniforms because the families couldn't afford to without finance make ends meet, and we done that, and then sadly after that the whole label thing, people fell out. As I say, I've had that many things going positive, and then people within the circle falling out with each other, and it's ruined it. So that's why I've literally stayed a one-man army, and I've just kept going, because that way there's no one to
yeah.
ruin it, and I'm doing okay, sort of.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, completely. Like what you're saying, that, and obviously what you told me earlier on and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, I completely understand why you would be
just
say like
wary to ask
doing it
anyone,
on your
bro.
own.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I totally get that, mate. And yeah, no, but Steve, what we'll do, we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah,
But
man.
what a boss
You know
conversation,
what,
and
lad?
like
I've
the
enjoyed
word I
this.
was thinking of is thought provoking as
Yeah,
well, which
yeah.
it was.
You've took me out. You've given me something that I've wanted to do. I've wanted to do this, and I wanted to see how I would react on there. People just, someone just asking questions, and where I go with it, and and to be honest, I'm quite proud of myself for how I handled it today, and I've enjoyed the conversation meeting. We've got to meet up for that
Great.
coffee soon, because
Yes.
yeah, definitely.
1,000% we'll do that,
Yeah,
mate.
man, we will
Like,
sort something.
it'll either be before, obviously, the charity do, or like
Yeah,
sometime
listen, you
after,
concentrate on that
definitely.
for now, bro. You do your charity thing,
Yeah.
and look, if I can come down, it's for the kids, isn't it, for the day?
So during the day, yeah, it's for the kids, and then the
So,
evening, it's
yeah,
a bit
yeah.
more like the kids. I spoke to the licensee at the social club, and they can come till 9, but you think there's no point. Do you know what I
No,
mean? It
yeah,
starts at 7:30, so it's
yeah.
like, yeah.
What time is it? What is it? 7:30 till 9.
Uh, the do.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh,
on during the
oh,
day,
for
isn't
the
it?
kids. So there's one so it's on during the day. So that's from 12:30 or 12 till 2ish. So that's at the Jeffrey Humble. So we're playing a footy match there,
Yeah, man.
um, on Long Lane, and then in the Derry Club just off at the top of Mere
Yeah.
Lane, Everton Brow, just there. So
Go on,
that start
I'll bring up our kids and we'll come up and see you anyway.
amazing. No, thank you, mate.
No
Is there
worries.
anything you wanna sort of plug before we
Do you know
thingy?
what? I just want to say to everyone, and I've never really done this before. If you want to check out any of my music, anything like that, can find me on the Lyrical Viper. Just Lyrical Viper on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, all your major distribution networks that you can find. Just please get behind the message, spread it out. I ask nothing back from anyone for doing this, and I will make the changes that I promised you. I won't be like these politicians who lie to you. And I'm not doing this to follow politics. I'm doing it with rap music to change the game they said I couldn't change. And that's all I want to say, brother.
Amazing. No, thank you
Thank
very
you, mate.
much. And everyone, thank you for watching and listening. Don't forget
Yeah.
to follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff that people do on YouTube, the Sober Session Podcast. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
thanks very much, Steve.
Yeah,
Cheers,
man.
mate.
Much love, brother.
See you
See you
later.
soon, bro. Ta-ra, man.
Ta-ra. Bye bye.